we want to change a little bit of atmosphere and change the topic towards media. Now, our question is now, we're living in a digitalized era. And from what we understand, that you also teach media literacy education. Now, we want to ask you that digitalized era is good. The media can deliver news very quickly in a positive way. However, we believe that there's also negative aspects towards it. As a person who teach media literacy, we want to hear from you in terms of from peace and digital media side. How does it work together? How can media can help make peace? What kind of role does media play?
Media is one of the strongest tools to ridicule the society or to promote the society. It can cause havoc in the society, and it can produce peace in the society, because media is the strongest tools, one of the strongest tools. Media has the power to change the states, to change the leaders of the states. This is where the digital world lies, and this is where we live actually. Let me tell you, what is the prime concept of media? What do people understand about media? What is the concept of media? Media's concept is nothing but just to act as a bridge of information. What is happening here? It shall tell you exactly what has happened. It should not contribute into any other thing. But what happens nowadays, as one of my journalist friends say, that every breaking news is a news. So today we are living in this world of breaking news. Everybody is into the competition. Whatever comes in your mind, you think, and you make it as a breaking news, and this is how the individuals have to believe you, because they don't have any other tool to investigate. Supposedly, you might have heard about Panama issue, or recently there was a Pandora issue. The majority of the world leaders, they had their offshore companies in different countries. That majority of the politicians, they use the black money into white money, and media exposes them. So this is what media's job. They expose things. But if they expose a few individuals and not all of them, it gets biased media. And we are witnessing this biased media. It does not give you the exact information. Rather, it contributes into so many other things. It places so many ingredients into the news, and it gives you the plate in front of you with the mixtures, with the masalas, with the spices in it. Unfortunately, we don't have any tool to investigate. Unfortunately, we are living in this age. There are no do's and don'ts for social media. It is unfiltered media. The only difference between the traditional media that we see in the news and the social media is the traditional media somehow uses the filtration in it. The social media does not. And now, even the traditional media is following social media. So now the news comes first at the social media, and the traditional media follows it. So this has gone in a different direction. Initially, media, the traditional media itself, used to produce and investigate news and brings to the audience. Now the social media does the job on speedy manner. So what happens? The public listens to the social media. So in order to grab the public back to as their audience, the traditional media follows social media. Whatever the news that you see, 90% of the news comes from social media into your television screens, into your newspapers. The newspapers and the traditional media are the outdated. I ask you, did you read today's newspaper? If yes, you may have read all the news which happened yesterday. But through your social media on your mobile phone, you are updated what happened exactly 10 minutes before in Seoul. Because there's no filtration. There's no ethics. There's no a breaker. There's not a sudden stop. It comes to you directly, whatever it is. So what the general media, the traditional media does that. So once the news is there, the traditional media, if it follows the same news item to the audience, there's no difference. You're seeing on your mobile phone what you're seeing on your television screens. So what the television screen should do more exclusive, that you get attracted to the television, not to the social media, it brings more ingredients into the news. If I'm a professor, one of my students, she actually shared my lecture into the WhatsApp group. So I was lecturing about the interfaith harmony and religious, and there's a sect of Ahmadiyya that normally in our country people don't follow them and they say that they are non-Muslims. So this is Ahmadiyya sect. So I shared my analysis on that topic. And from that group, the news was sent to a traditional media. And in the traditional media, the news arose as there's a professor who's against Islam. So there was no concept of being against Islam. So with that competition of going first and breaking news, the media honors the media authorities that do not realize, and they don't want to even realize what will happen after we show this news. All they know is they should be the first contributors into the news. So this has shaved off the ethics in media. So this ethics has gone out of media. So once the ethic is gone out of media, it means there's no such media then. There's a television screen that we call it a media, but actually it is not. I ask you one question. How many media channels or the newspapers have you ever seen talking about brotherhood, interactions, interfaith harmony, loving each other, promoting peace? Name a single channel, name a single newspaper. Every channel, every news channel, every newspaper will certainly, you'll follow full of fights, conflicts, what is happening in Iraq. So this is a psychological thing. When you keep on reading such things, when you keep on watching such things, accidents, negativity, politicians, fighting, North Korea, missile attack, America versus North Korea, everything. When you keep on hearing such things, you go into a different mindset. But majority of them would certainly be interested more like the fighting, the action movies, the racing cars and everything. Why? Because you have created such society. You have created such society that people feel fun in it. Why? Because you have not shown them the other side. You cannot feel the taste of sweetness because you kept on eating the non-sweet things. So you need to taste it. You need to have it. You need to have a positive media. I'm using this laptop to talk to you about peace. I could use the same laptop to talk about negativity of around the world. So it is up to me. So once you need to shrink out, you need to understand in the same manner media need to understand, media need to shrink out the negativity. So unfortunately we are living in this age, and unfortunately we are witnessing all this is just because of the money talks, and money talks a lot obviously, and that is the reason that media gets into the competition, and they keep on doing it, and they're still doing it. So even in near future, I cannot see media going back towards the ethics.
Thank you, Dr. Javed, for your passionate answer. We hope that this channel, the Great Lights channel, can also become a platform for a positive piece to spread this so that there's many in the future, maybe not in near future, but hopefully in the future, that many media is now competing to deliver the news of peace rather just breaking news. Once again, thank you very much. Now, Dr. Javed, we also heard that you're reporting on your channel about peace. Is this true?
I was reporting conflict for the cause of peace.
I see. Now, in terms of the part of the media, what part of the media does this fall into? Politics, economics? What type of category does this kind of reporting fall under to?
This is normally in our country, it is called the defense correspondence. Defense, it means whichever thing which is related to the security. My job was to report that. And also diplomatic, that what is happening at the international relations with regards to Pakistan. And that obviously includes economy, cultural cooperation and everything, along with the defense side, what is happening in Afghanistan, the regional security, how it is going to affect Pakistan's own security dynamics. into that matter.
Thank you. Now, Dr. Javed, when you are putting out reporting about the work of peace, now have you ever thought about how to make this news of peace more interesting? Because sometimes it is considered as a dull news. If you have any ideas or anything that you have thought about, please share with us.
Okay, so first thing, as I mentioned that I work for Pakistan Television News, which is the state-run television. And state-run television means whatever state says, we have to report it. Through the state TV channels, through the state media, first of all, they need to upbring their own people. They need to realize, they need to understand that what sort of community we are going to produce within our country through media. Supposedly, if my government says that Javed, state's media is nothing but just to report what is happening in Afghanistan and tell our people that Afghanistan is full of conflicts, North Korea is full of conflicts, Russia is full of conflicts, it means I'm doing dishonesty to my own people. My people are not interested in what is happening in North Korea or China or in Afghanistan. My people are more interested in what is happening here. How we need to bring our lives to the better tracks. So if my government gives me another policy, Javed, you need to work on the general information, what is happening across the world in a positive manner, what the science and technology is working to make human lives better. If I bring that information, the medicine information, the medical sciences information to my people, the information and education about agriculture to my people will have a different mindset. So it is up to the state to form a policy, a proper policy, through these state TV channels, through the state media. Whatever they say, whatever they do, it somehow ultimately impacts its society, their own people. It totally depends on the governments to regulate the media, make certain do's and don'ts, and also work more on producing and spreading ethical media. Within your own country, even here in Pakistan, you may have seen thousands of journalists who even do not know the basic concept of ethical media. How many of journalists in your country have done their degrees in journalism? A few people. They don't bother about the ethical media. Rather, the media honors, I challenge you. Even in South Korea, if you look at your media honors, their kids must be studying abroad somewhere in Canada or in Europe. They're not in Korea. Why don't you invest in ethics? The answer is no. Why? Because there's no profit in ethics. There's no profit in being honest. So when you are into this sort of situation, the other media outlets keep on following the same manner because they're earning. So the government need to regulate it. The government need to come up with a very harsh manner, because ultimately media comes under government authority. Judiciary comes under government authority. So the owner of the house, the leader of the house, the elder one, need to make these regulations, need to make these do's and don'ts and try to channelize them with full honesty.
Thank you, Dr. Javed. Now, previously you have mentioned that you don't consider as a member of the HWPL, but more of a supporter. Could you explain this part a little bit more? And in addition to this, knowing HWPL and working together with HWPL, has it influenced anything on your work or life or your thoughts regarding peace?
So whenever I say I'm a supporter, not a member, so in our society, I think it happens globally, that you may see thousands of members of every organization, but there will be only few who will be working for it. So people would get their cards in their pockets and mentioning in their resumes that I'm a member of this organization and I'm also a member of this group. But are they really working for it? If yes, then they are not just members, they are beyond that. They are the supporters. So with that, I sort of give myself a respect for being a supporter of HWPL, not just the member. And what sort of influence HWPL has upon me, I think it is huge. I think HWPL is the exclusive organization that actually made me realize that there are so many things in terms of peace that even I can do. It is not just that my ideas, but their ideas as well. Through HW platform, I learned so many solutions of many problems happening around us. I listen to so many peacemakers. I don't say they are just the speakers, but they are the peacemakers. HWPL hosts thousands of peacemakers, and I listen to them. I learn from them. I grab the information. I retrieve the knowledge from them and try to process it in my life and try to learn those tools between HWPL and me. It's a two-way process. HWPL helps me in understanding how to spread peace. I support HWPL in terms of telling the people what do I understand about peace. So it's a two-way street. It goes and it comes. So with that, I have a huge respect for this organization as well as for Chairman, that I learned a lot, and I really feel proud of being part of it.
Thank you, Dr. Javed, for being with us today and also for your very passionate and active answers for today's interview. I think it was very educational and informative, even for me. And once again, I think as a person who uses SNS daily and also putting up this interview on YouTube channel, we will try our best to continue to deliver the positive news for peace so that it can be throughout through the community. And also always remember that ethics are very important when it comes to the SNS and any sort of news that is being delivered to the society or anywhere in the world. Thank you once again for being with us, and thank you for this delighted time. Once again, have a lovely day.
Bye-bye.